Hey everyone, my name is Ginis Garcia and I'm one of the co-founders of the Land Method. If you've spent any time around our community, you've probably seen Jonathan teaching, breaking down deals, and creating a lot of the educational content we put out. He's done an incredible job of becoming the educator and public face that many people first encounter when they discover the Land Method. My role is a little different. While Jonathan spends much of his time teaching and creating content, I spend most of my time behind the scenes helping the business operate, supporting students, working on marketing, improving systems and processes, helping prospective students determine whether we're the right fit for them, and staying involved in active land deals. So I wanted to make this video to introduce myself, share a little bit about my background, explain how I think about land investing, and give you some insight into why we teach the way we do at the Land Method. Like many people who find land investing, I wasn't born in a real estate family. I didn't inherit a portfolio. I didn't have a roadmap handed to me. Everything I've learned has come from experience, making mistakes, solving problems, and continually refining what works. My real estate journey actually started with wholesaling houses. That experience taught me a lot about finding motivated sellers, evaluating opportunities, negotiating deals, and understanding the fundamentals of real estate investing. It was an incredible way to learn the business because you quickly realize that real estate isn't just about properties, it's about solving problems for people. After wholesaling, I moved into fix and flips. There were definitely profitable deals, but there were also plenty of lessons. If you've ever done a fix and flip, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Contractors don't always show up. Renovation budgets don't always go according to plan. Unexpected repairs appear. Permits can create delays, and sometimes what looks like a simple project becomes much more complicated than expected. As my business grew, I also built a rental portfolio. At one point, I owned and self-managed 15 rental properties in 2 states. That experience taught me a tremendous amount about operations, tenant management, maintenance and systems, and what it takes to build a sustainable real estate business. Over time, as the market appreciated significantly, I made the decision to sell many of those properties and capitalize on the market conditions. I've also had experience with mixed-use properties, which gave me exposure to another segment of real estate and broadened my understanding of different investment strategies. I was first introduced to land investing in 2014, but it wasn't until 2015 that I started to really take it seriously. And honestly, one of the biggest reasons was because of the headaches that came with houses. I had spent years dealing with renovations, maintenance issues, contractors, tenants, and all of the challenges that come with improved property. What attracted me to land was the simplicity. No tenants, no toilets, no midnight phone calls, no leaking roofs, no renovation surprises. I found a business model that allowed me to focus on acquisitions, marketing, deal analysis, building systems, instead of constantly managing property-related issues. That shift completely changed the trajectory of my investing career. And since then, land investing has become the primary focus of my business. One thing I tell students all the time is that land investing is not about finding some secret strategy or magic deal. It's really about solving problems and creating value. Every property owner has a story. Some inherited land they don't want. Some are behind on taxes. Some live across the country and have no use for the property anymore. Some simply want liquidity and would rather have cash than continue holding an asset they're not using. Our job as investors is to identify opportunities where we can create a win-win situation. That's why I don't view land investing as a get-rich-quick business. I view it as a real business. The investors who succeed long-term are usually not the ones chasing shortcuts. They're the ones who build systems. They're consistent. They learn how to evaluate deals properly. They understand marketing. They understand acquisition, and they make smart decisions repeatedly over time. That's where sustainable success comes from. One of the things I enjoy most about my role is working directly with students. A lot of people enter land investing excited about the opportunities, which is great, but they often underestimate how important the fundamentals are. I spend a lot of time helping students understand how to evaluate deals correctly, how to think about risk, how to understand market demand, how to avoid emotional decision making, how to build systems that allow them to scale, how to market effectively, and how to focus on the activities that actually generate revenue. One thing I've noticed over the years is that many investors get distracted. They're constantly searching for the next tool, the next strategy, or the next shortcut. Meanwhile, the investors who are succeeding are usually doing the basics exceptionally well. They're sending offers. They're talking to sellers. They're evaluating properties. They're marketing consistently. They're following up, which is key. They're executing. Those simple activities are what build real businesses. Another thing I wanted to touch on is what I actually do inside the land method. Because while Jonathan is often the educator people see first, I spend much of my time focused on the back end of the business. I help oversee operations. I work on marketing strategy. I support our coaching programs. I spend a time with students helping them work through challenges and opportunities. And I often speak with prospective students who are considering joining our programs. One of the most important things I do is help people determine whether we're actually a good fit for them. And that may sound surprising, but our goal isn't to convince everyone to join. Our goal is to help the right people join. Land investing is an incredible business, but like any business, it requires effort, consistency, and commitment. When I speak with someone who's considering working with us, I'm trying to understand their goals, where they are today, what challenges are they facing, and whether we genuinely believe we can help them achieve what they're looking to accomplish. Because when the right person joins the right program, that's when best results happen. One of the things I'm proud of at the Land Method is that everything we teach comes from active experience. We're not teaching concepts that we learned years ago and haven't used since. We're actively buying land. We're actively selling land. We're actively marketing. We're actively adapting to changing market conditions, which happen all the time. And that's important because markets evolve. Strategies change. What worked 5 years ago isn't always what works today. When you're learning from people who are actively doing deals, you're learning from current experience rather than outdated theory. If we teach a process, it's because we've used it. If we recommend a strategy, it's because we've tested it. If we're helping students solve problems, it's because we've encountered something similar ourselves. That practical, real-world experience is one of the biggest differences on how we approach education. There are a lot of educational programs in real estate. What I believe makes the Land Method different is our commitment to helping people build real businesses, not just consume information. Information alone doesn't create success. Execution creates success. That's why we focus so heavily on implementation, coaching, support, systems, and helping students take action. We want students to understand how deals actually happen, how sellers think, how buyers think, how markets behave, how to evaluate opportunities, how to market effectively, and how to build a business that can continue operating for years to come. Because ultimately, that's what creates freedom and long-term results. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're exploring land investing and trying to determine who you should learn from. That's a smart approach. There are a lot of value of voices online, a lot of information, and a lot of opinions. My advice is simple. Learn from people who are actively doing what they teach. Look for transparency. Look for experience. Look for consistency. And look for people who genuinely care about helping others succeed. At the Land Method, that's what we strive to do every day. Whether you're already a part of our community or you're just getting to know us, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I look forward to connecting with you, helping you on your journey, and hopefully being a small part of your success story. Thanks for watching.